The Minnesota Media Archive is brought to you by North Metro TV. Your support helps make the archive possible. Please consider a one-time donation. The past comes alive at North Metro TV, where we can help you transfer your old videotapes, films, cassette tapes, record albums, and even photographs and slides to DVD and digital so you can enjoy them again. North Metro TV, bringing the past to life.
Good evening and welcome to Centennial High School for tonight's Section 4 5A quarterfinal matchup between the Centennial Cougars and the St. Paul Central Minutemen. How you doing, everybody? Dave Washburn bringing you tonight's action here on Channel 15, and it's a nippy one out here at Cougar Stadium. Temperature right around 20 degrees. At least the wind died down. It was quite windy earlier, and we had a wind chill factor that we don't even want to think about. But we've got a couple of hot teams coming into tonight's game. Hopefully they'll warm things up as we get things going. The Cougars come in 6-2 overall, co-champions of the North Suburban Conference. They wound up co-champions in name only. They knocked off Totino Grace in the head-to-head matchup, so we'll call them the champions of the North Suburban Conference as they're coming off a tight win over Spring Lake Park last week that you saw right here live on North Metro 15. That game won by a last-second field goal by Phil Todd to seal the victory and seal the conference title for the Cougars. The St. Paul Central Minutemen, they're 4-4 overall and finished in third place in the St. Paul City Conference. They would have had a much better record, or a slightly better record, but they wound up forfeiting a game early in the season against Highland Park due to an ineligible player, and wound up with the 4-4 record. So a much better team than their record indicates. They were the number 6 seed coming in. The Cougars the number 3 seed coming into the section. Of course, White Bear Lake and Mounds View getting the higher seeds in the section, although they all had the same record. Feeling is among the coaches that the Cougars didn't play as strong a schedule as the other two teams did, so they wind up the number 3 seed. Well, a little bit earlier this evening, Kent and Kip had an opportunity to chat with Mike Watson about their games of the last couple of weeks and the upcoming section. Let's listen in on that conversation.
Okay. I'm here with Centennial head coach Mike Watson. First of all, Coach, congratulations for the title of the North Suburban Conference.
Oh, thank you, Kent. And it's kind of a fun last week, kind of a fun end of the season, and the kids have worked hard this year, and we're thankful that we got a share of the title.
I'm sorry I had to miss it.
You had more important things to do.
Yeah, I had my wedding.
Yes.
But a big week for Centennial with Friday's win over Totino and Wednesday's win over Spring Lake Park. How big was that?
Well, that was huge because those are two very good teams. Even though they're smaller classification than we are, they're outstanding programs. And obviously we've had our trouble with them in the past. And I don't know how many times. This is another time we end up tying with Totino Grace for the championship. We beat them head-to-head, but we lose a game along the way, and we end up tied with them. But our win last Wednesday night over Park was kind of a tough one because we had to come from behind. I think there was such an emotional high on Friday before, and to come right back on Wednesday was kind of tough, and we knew it was going to be, and we tried to get the kids to brace for that. But, boy, we did not play well in the first half, and we're down 17-7 at the half, but then we kind of came on at the second half and won it at the end in a field goal in a very dramatic fashion.
And I think it's pretty obvious the team's been playing a lot better in the second half. Is there anything to try to get the players to come out in the first half ready to play? Is there anything you possibly do?
If I can figure that out, we'd be doing it because we certainly try, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. We just kind of are happy or content to be a second half team, but we just put ourselves in a hole. Other teams almost always score. And if you look at a lot of those games, they've had more opportunities to score in the first half, and we've been fortunate we're as close as we are at half, and then all of a sudden things turn around, and we just played outstanding defense the second half, stopped teams, and we're able to score and win the ball game.
Well, that second half play has gotten you this far. Now that we're entering the section playoffs, kind of give us a tell people at home how the section points work to be able to receive the seed that you got.
Well, what happens is you receive points for losses. If you go 8-0, you don't receive any points, and the idea is not to have points. If you lose to a team of the same classification, which we're 5A, then you get 1 point. And if you lose to a team of 4A classification, you get 1.5 points. And if you lose to a 3A team, you get 2 points, although I don't think anybody in our section played a 3A team this year. So we ended up at 6-2. Our losses were to Edina, a very good Edina team in that first game, and then we lost a close one to Irondale. So we ended up with 2 points, and there's actually 4 teams that ended up at 6-2 in the section. But Irondale's 2 losses were to Totino and to Park, and so they got 3 points, whereas the other 3 teams that each had 2. So we were tied at 2 points with Moundsview, White Bear, and what happens is it goes to a coach's vote, and it always happens until a North Suburban team starts doing better in the section. Those teams are going to get the nod, in a coach's vote. So Moundsview is number 1 because they beat White Bear head-to-head. White Bear's number 2, and we're number 3. Roseville is number 4. They had 3 losses, but they had 3 points, and so they ended up tied with Irondale. And there again, because of the strength of the conference, Roseville got the nod, and they were going to play each other anyway, just a matter where the home game was going to be. And then Central was 6th, and that's who we're playing tonight. And then Arlington out of the St. Paul Conference was 7th.
It's just a testament to how strong this section is, where you have teams that are so close together. And receiving the 3rd seed and 6th is St. Paul Central, who you play tonight. And I believe they were 4-4 overall, 4-2 in conference. Give us a preview of St. Paul Central, if you could.
Well, they've got some outstanding athletes. Technically, they were 5-3 this year, but they did use an ineligible player, or they had an ineligible player on the squad who didn't play in a certain game, but they had to forfeit that game. So they ended up 4-4. The section, I've never seen the section as tight as it is this year. We've had years where a team with a 3-5 record could be a 4 or 5 seed. And here we're playing a team 5-3 and 6-2 or 4s and 5. So it's a lot tougher. Central has got some great athletes. They're kind of a typical city team. I think they really have trouble getting kids to practice, and sometimes they don't have as many coaches because of economic reasons, and they are, sometimes their coaching is not the best, but boy, they have some great athletes, and they're overcome that. So we've got our hands full tonight with Central.
It looks like they've been able to put up some points, and I believe they have a rusher in Velvin. He's almost a 1,000-yard rusher. It seems that they're also susceptible to the pass. Is there a game plan you come into tonight?
Well, I think we're just going to try to play our game. We are going to throw the ball, and I think we can try to run on these guys. We got a tape of them against Edison, and that was a shootout. Edison won in overtime, and they were susceptible to the pass, and they are susceptible to the run. Edison ran the ball. They run a wing T, and they were able to get some long yardage plays on that. So I think what we've got to do is we're just hopefully we're going to open up and just come off the ball and play good, hard-nosed offensive line play, and get after them, and then defensively we can stop them. We should have a win.
Well, hopefully Centennial will come out strong in the first half. The Centennial Cougars taking on the St. Paul Central Minutemen. Back up to you, Dave.
All right, thanks, Kenton. And there you have the breakdown of how the section played out. And let's take a look at some of the numbers. The Minutemen, obviously a rushing team, over 2,000 yards rushing. The bulk of those is, as Kenton mentioned, coming from Vel Cobbins, their top rusher, 941 yards, 11 touchdowns on the year. Passing-wise, they're not nearly as strong. And they've racked up a total of 25.6 points per game to Centennial's 18. Centennial a little bit stronger defensively. Centennial gives up about 15 points a game. The Minutemen give up about 20 points a game. So we'll have to see if the Cougars can slow down the running game of the Minutemen. And as Kenton also mentioned, the Minutemen tend to be susceptible to the pass, as they've given up huge numbers passing-wise, and that should play out well for Carl Nowakowski and his 2 big targets, Ryan Olson and Mark Slayton. Olson held to no catches, no yards last week against Spring Lake Park, so he's due to break out. They were double and triple teaming Olson through the game, and there we take a look at the starting offense for the Cougars. And of course, the quarterback Carl Nowakowski having a great year once again this season. He's thrown for 6 touchdown passes and ran for 1 last week, and he's had a pretty decent season, thrown for nearly 1,000 yards, and he's got a passing completion of about 47%. Also in the backfield, look for Matt Gray. He's had an outstanding year as well. He did pick up a touchdown last week against Spring Lake Park, and he did spend part of the year injured, but as you can see, he's made up for that in the games that he has played, and he's rushed for over 500 yards and picked up 6 touchdowns along the way. And so it'll be interesting to see Jared Massey also at fullback, replacing Nate Parcell, who started last week. And Massey's had a pretty good year, had some fumble trouble early in the season, but I believe he's overcome that. He had a great game as well last week. Ryan Olson, as I mentioned, held to no yards, I should say, last week. But he is the top receiver on this team. He's caught 12 passes for almost 400 yards. And then Mark Slayton, the big split end at 6'6", 187. He's a big target out there, and he's going to be a big challenge for Marquise Thompson, the free safety for Central, as he's only 5'7". There you see the big tight end, Kyle Massey across the front line. It's Dieterman, Perez, Tony Richter, Mark Sala, and the center, Mark Dahl. Those guys getting the job done up front very well for the Cougars this season. We'll get you the Central defense when they take the field. The Cougars did win the toss, and they will be receiving and doing the kickoff duties for the St. Paul Minutemen will be Rosbe Tolati, the kicker. He's had a pretty good season. Not a lot of offense, though. He's 15 of 20 extra point-wise and only 1 of 1 field goal. So they've not had many field goal attempts as with an offense like this. I guess they're going for it on 4th down quite a bit throughout the course of the season. The Cougars yet to take the field as see Toilati trying to find an even spot. This field a little bit rough tonight. I don't know if you can see it in your picture there. Looks fine along the sidelines, but you get out in the middle of that field and it is very soft, very muddy. They had a 9th grade game out there earlier this week, and it just really tore up the field. And there you can see in the middle of the field just nothing but mud out there. And we'll have to see if that affects the Centennial passing game more, if it affects the running game of St. Paul Central more. So now we're set to go. And back deep will be Matt Gray for the Cougars. Low line drive kick. And it's taken by one of the up men, fumbled, and the Cougars will just cover it up. And they'll take over in pretty decent field position. They'll have the ball at about the 27-yard line, and that's where they will start 1st and 10. So actually they'll spot the ball at the 28, and that's where the Cougars will start this game. On the Central defense across the front line is Devontae Duncans and Devin Jones, Chris Gustafson, and Cornelius Tolbert across the front line. The linebackers, Raheem Shabazz, Paul Menard, Adam Stein, and Maurice Fuller. We'll get to the defensive backfield in just a moment. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for the Cougars. I backfield, and the handoff will go up the middle. The ball pops loose, but the Cougars were able to cover it up as carrying the ball, I believe, was Matt Gray. And a gain of 3 on the play. The defensive backfield for Central, the cornerbacks, Matt Danielson and Adrian Perryman, and then the free safety, as I mentioned, Marquise Thompson, only 5'7", 150-pound sophomore. So we'll see how they try to attack Thompson tonight. 2nd down and 7. And the handoff this time to Brian Burns. Burns will, after a gain of about 4. And we'll bring up a 3rd down and about 3 to go.
Yeah. Hold on, I have to.
And 3rd down now, short situation for the Cougars. They'll swing Slayton out to the near side. Olson to the far side. High backfield. The handoff up the middle, and I don't think he got it. He'll be stopped after a gain of about a yard. And the Minutemen come up big as Matt Gray stopped with a 1-yard pickup. And the Minutemen come out and hold the Centennial offense, and we'll bring up a 4th down and about 2 now, as they will be set to punt it away. Back deep will be Vel Cobbins. Cobbins will stand at about his 28-yard line. And the punt, it's a low line drive. It will take a Centennial hop. Cobbins will be wise to step away, and he does. And the Cougars will down the ball at the 19. That's where Central will take over 1st and 10.
And Central takes over 1st and 10 at their 18.
Well, let's take a look at the Central offense. In the backfield, it will be Vel Cobbins, and at the tailback, Raheem Shabazz, I should say. At fullback, there's the offense. Quarterback, Joe Boer. John Berry and Adrian Perryman are the wideouts. The tight end is Devontae Duncans. We'll get to the front line here after this play. As they line up, 2 men split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Man in motion is Perryman to the far side. And the handoff to Cobbins, no surprise there, and still on his feet. He will be out across the 30. He'll pick up 11 yards and a 1st down for the Minutemen. There's the front line for the Minutemen, Duncans, Jones, Thurl, Patterson, Gustafson, and Gagner. And we'll get to the Cougar defense shortly. So Central will pick up the first down of the game as Cobbins picks up 11 yards. He's out to the 30, and here's the handoff off the right side, and taking it this time is the fullback, Shabazz. He'll be out to about the 35, a 5-yard pickup for Shabazz. Let's take a look at the Centennial defense. And across the front line will be Mark Sala, Matt Radanke, Travis Bramer, and Kyle Massey. We'll get to the defensive backfield shortly. 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. And the handoff goes to the right side. Cobbins still on his feet, and he'll pick up another 1st down as he's out near the 44. So a 10-yard gain for Cobbins. And another Central 1st down. There you see the front line for the Cougars, Sala, Radanke, Bramer, and Massey. Then the linebackers, Keurig, Massey, Glander, and Hansen. And the defensive backs, Mark Reynolds and Tim McConnell at the corners, and Josh Kriegler will be the free safety. So 1st and 10 at the 44. Man in motion to the near side is Perryman. And the handoff is successfully made. The quarterback, Borer, took a big hit on that one. But coming up from the bottom of the pile is Shabazz. And he will pick up nearly 5 yards. Massey there with the stop. So 2nd down and 5. One man split to the near side. Pitch is fumbled. Cobbins can't get it. Ball still loose. It looks like the Cougars picked it up. And they do. 1st down for the Cougars. Ball recovered on the play by Bobby Hansen. That time Cobbins never did get a handle on the handoff. And ball bounced around and finally was picked up. Let's take another look at it. As you see, he never did quite get the handle on it. A few players touched it, but finally Hansen gets in there and covers it up. So 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for the Cougars as they get the ball back in great field position. There's a pitch to Gray, and it's fumbled. He'll cover it up immediately. He'll lose a yard on the play. So both teams having a little bit of trouble hanging on to the football. So 2nd down and 11 after the 1-yard loss. And with the wet ball, the wet ground, and bad traction out there, it's going to be tough for these players. As you just saw Matt Gray having a hard time hanging on to the football. Back to pass is Nowakowski. He's swinging out to Olsen over his head. And first pass of the night falls incomplete as Nowakowski with just a little bit too much on it. And I'm sure cold hands prevail out there as well tonight. So 3rd down and 11 as they will bring Slayton to the near side with Olson in the slot. High backfield for the Cougars. Okowski back to pass. Looks to the near sideline, and it's caught right at the hash mark. Complete to Slayton, and he will pick up the 1st down after a gain of 16 on the play. So Slayton with the first catch of the night, and we'll get another look as they crisscross. Olson comes out to the near sideline, and Slayton heads down the post, and he goes up after it and is able to make the catch. Keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, Marquise Thompson, the free safety, only 5'7", so he gives up a foot to the receiver Slayton. And here's Gray, no gain on the play as he'll be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Well, Matt Gray struggling a little bit with the running game. And we do have a timeout called by St. Paul Central with 6:56 left on the clock. No score in this one. And Central will regroup, and not sure what the confusion was, if they didn't have the personnel they wanted on the field for this play, or because they just come up with a big stop on Matt Gray. Matt Gray struggling a little bit. 4 carries, only 3 yards on the night. It's been tough going down the middle of the field here in these sloppy conditions. First, we had an inch or 2 of snow a couple of nights ago. And it's been tough sledding in this one so far, but Cobbins doesn't seem to be having too much of a problem, though. He's got 2 carries for 21 yards so far on the evening, and that's about his average. He averages nearly 11 yards a carry. So 2nd down and 10 as teams come out. It'll be Slayton split to the near side. Olson in the slot. And back to pass is Nowakowski, looking to the same play, and fumbling the football after the catch was Slayton. So, and it will be a fumble after the catch, so about a 14-yard completion on the reception. And a fumble, as we'll get another look. And there you saw Slayton with the catch, and then as he spun around, he will lose the football. So Central will take over 1st and 10 at their 10. They will split John Berry out to the near side. He'll be covered by Mark Reynolds out there. Cougars show a blitz, and they come. Handoff goes to, I believe that's Cobbins. And he will pick up about 4 yards after all the motion there. And yep, that was Cobbins on the carry, so about a 5-yard pickup for Cobbins. And here you go. Look at, he gets spun around and stays on his feet, keeps the feet moving, but Hansen gets in there and makes the stop and brings up a 2nd down and 5, just shy of the 15-yard line. Once again, they will split Berry and Perryman to the near side. And the handoff will go to, I believe that was Perryman that got it on the end around. And yeah, it was, and he'll be close to that 1st down, and he picks it up. So 5-yard pickup for Perryman. So Adrian Perryman takes the ball on the end around and picks up the 3rd 1st down of the night. For Central. Here comes the pitch to Cobbins. Hansen in the backfield. He gets around him, gets by Massey. He'll take it back the other way. He'll pick up about 10 yards and slips and falls as he's out across the 30-yard line. So a 14-yard pickup for Cobbins. He now has 40 yards in the game and another first down. Here we'll get another look and see Hansen break through, but couldn't quite wrap him up. He gets by Massey there and finally slips and falls. Here's the 1st and 10 play. Here's Cobbins again. No, check that. It's going to be Shabazz, and he's going to pick up about 12 yards and another first down. So Raheem Shabazz with a great play. Picks up another first down as right now Central doing a nice job running the ball as they're out across the 45 now, almost to the 46. And once again, they'll split Barry and Perryman to the near side. High backfield. Hand off to the first man through. And taking the ball on the carry was Shabazz once again. This time he's wrapped up in the backfield. So 1 yard pickup. And a second down and 9 to go. Ball near the 48. Hand off to Shabazz, and he'll pick up about 5 yards on the play as he's out across midfield. And a third down and about 3 now for the Minutemen. Nose of the ball right at the 47-yard line. Once again, they'll split Perryman to the near side. High backfield for the Minutemen. The handoff to Shabazz. His knee went down. He slipped as they tried to get the legs going, and no gain on the play. He may even lost a foot or two. That'll bring up 4th down. And let's take another look as he just had a hard time getting the wheels going there as you see the knee go down. And I'll bring up a 4th down situation. Actually loses a yard on the play. And the Minutemen will be forced to punt it away. Nice high punt. Phil Todd will just let this one roll. It will take a Central bounce, and it will be down at the 12-yard line, and that's where the Cougars will take over 1st and 10. So the Cougars will start from a bit of a hole as we're near the close of the first quarter here. 2.5 minutes left to play. No score as of yet. And I think the weather and the field condition dictating the tempo of this game. Both of these teams have fairly potent offenses, but neither team able to get much going here in the early going. Cougars will split Ryan out to the far side and Slayton to the near side. High backfield once again. And the handoff to Gray. This time Matt Gray has no problem hanging on to the football. He'll be out across the 15 to about the 17. Give him a gain of about 5 on the play. So 2nd down and 5 now for the Cougars. This time they'll split both wideouts to the far side, Slayton and Olson. Massey will be in at fullback. And they do give to Massey. He's got some running room, and he'll have enough for a first down as he's out to the 25-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the play for Massey. And first down of the night for the Cougars as you see Massey find a hole and squirt through to pick up the first down. So the Cougars on the move now at the 25. In motion goes Olsen to the far side. Here's the handoff. Gray out across the 30. And he will pick up about 6 yards on the play. And there you see Gray just follow his blockers as they open up a nice hole for him. And he pushes his way forward for a 6-yard gain. As the Cougars now starting to move the ball a little bit. Slayton split to the near side, Olsen to the far side. Shift in the backfield as Gray will come up. And the handoff up the middle. Looks like that could have been Parcell. Yeah, it is number 34, Nate Parcell. Will pick up about 3 yards on the play. So 3rd and short now is a 3rd and 1 situation for the Cougars. Slayton to the near side, Olsen to the far side, Parcell and Gray in the backfield for the Cougars. See if they go with the quarterback sneak. No, they will hand off to Gray. He's got some room as he's into the defensive backfield and out across the 45. A gain of 12 yards on the play for Matt Gray and a Cougar first down. So Matt Gray starting to rip off some good chunks of yardage now. 7 carries, 26 yards for Matt Gray. And there you see him bounce off one of the blockers. Actually, that was the Massey run, but take my word for it, that was a nice play by Matt Gray. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score 0-0 as we are underway in this Section 4-5A quarterfinal game. Winner of tonight's game will move on to face the winner of White Bear Lake and Arlington. They're playing that game at White Bear Lake tonight. Other matchups will feature the 4 and 5 seed. Roseville will be hosting Irondale. And Mounds View, of course, getting the bye with the number 1 seed. So Mounds View will face the winner of Roseville and Irondale next week. And as I mentioned, the winner of this game will move on to face the winner of St. Paul Arlington and White Bear Lake. So if the Cougars get by this one, they'll get a chance to face their nemesis, the White Bear Lake Bears. So 1st and 10, ball just across the 45-yard line as we start the second quarter of play. Both receivers will be split to the far side, I backfield for the Cougars. The handoff to Matt Gray. He'll pick his way through and nowhere to go for Matt Gray. He'll lose a foot or two. And he had a hard time getting the feet moving in that muck out there in the center of the field. So 2nd down and a long 10, short 11, however you want to look at it. The ball right on the 45-yard line. Once again, they'll line up in the I with 2 men split to the far side. Check that. That'll be just Slayton split to the far side. The pitch to Massey. Massey's got some room along the near side. He'll pick up a few and set up a 3rd down and short situation as he gets about 7 yards on that play. And Jared Massey, with his 2nd carry of the night, has 15 yards. So a 3rd down and 3 situation as they need to get to the 44 for the first down. This time it'll be Olsen split to the near side and Slayton split to the far. No score in the early going here as defenses have prevailed. Here's Massey once again. He's into the backfield across the 30. One man to bring him down. That's Thompson. And the diminutive Marquise Thompson there to make the stop. So he will break that one all the way down to the 22. That'll be a gain of 25 yards for Jared Massey. And there you see he gets around the corner and picks up the huge gain. And another Cougar first down. So the Cougars on the move now at the 23. Actually about a 24-yard pickup as Gray dives ahead down to the 20. So about a 2-yard pickup for Matt Gray.
2-yard gain. They get the second and 8. Tackle made by Noah Yeager.
So second down and about 8 to go now for the Cougars. They'll have 2 men split to the far side. High backs once again. Central shows the blitz. Here's Massey through the hole and touchdown. Jared Massey, a 20-yard touchdown run.
20-yard run for the touchdown.
So Cougars strike first blood here at 9:30 left to go here in the second quarter. That drive goes 88 yards, and we'll take another look at it from field level. And just great blocking up front, and put on the Jets and beat him to the end zone. Here's the kick. It's up. And it's good as Jason Vanslow puts it through the uprights. And the Cougars lead 7-0. So on that drive, total up the plays here. 9 plays, they go 88 yards. And the Cougars jump out to the early 7-0 lead. Ignore that graphic on your screen, folks. It is incorrect. 9:30 left to go. And the happy Cougars fans enjoying it. And great turnout tonight despite the weather. It is quite chilly out here, folks. And we have a full house. There are even not too many folks on the central side, but they're lined up around the fence on the Cougar side. And let's take another look at that play as you see the handoff to Massey. And great blocking up front. Just left a hole that even I could have made some progress through. And the Cougars strike first and are on top by a score of 7-0. Back deep will be Lure and Perryman for the Minutemen. Phil Todd will kick it away. Low line drive kick, squibs in, and they're having trouble with the ball. The Cougars may have gotten it back, but no, it will be covered up by the Minutemen. As coming up to cover that up was Perryman, and the Minutemen will take over. 1st and 10 at about their 16-yard line. Let's get another look at that one as one of the up men, and I believe that may have been Brian McIntosh or Dorian Taylor, had trouble with the ball. No, actually that was Cobbins over there that fumbled the kickoff. Here's a swing pass out to Perryman, and he will lose about 5 yards on the play. So actually, technically, I guess that would be a running play, as it was not a forward pass. So a 3-yard loss for Perryman as the long handoff will make it a 2nd and 14 situation as they are back inside their 15-yard line. Here's the pitch to Cobbins. You need a few yards. Here's the man to call, and he will gain back about 2 of those yards. Cobbins with 42 yards already on the night. Jared Massey with that 20-yard touchdown run, the leading rusher in this game with 60 yards on only 4 carries. I believe when I talked before the game with Coach Scott Howell from St. Paul Central, they were really concerned with Matt Gray, and that shows as they've really keyed on Gray tonight. But Massey able to break free and pick up a couple of big running plays. Here's the pass to the near side. It is caught by John Berry. And he will gain about 8 yards on the play, as that's the first reception of the night, as you see Borer swing it out to Berry, and a nice catch as he went up after that, caught it with the hands as you need to do, and made the reception, but it's going to be well short of the first down. 4th down and 4 to go after the 7-yard gain. And St. Paul Central will be forced to punt it away. Phil Todd will stand near midfield. Should be able to catch this one on the fly, and he does at the 49. Finds a little room to run along the near sideline, leaps over a defender, and a flag is thrown on the play. We'll have to see what the penalty is, as he was brought down at about the 40-yard line. And we'll check the call shortly, and it will be holding against the Cougars. We'll see if we can see it on the replay here, as there you see Mark Reynolds with a nice block there. And yeah, not sure where the hold came in, but flag came out nonetheless. So that will bring it back to the midfield stripe. First penalty of the night goes against the Cougars. So they will take over at the 50-yard line and start to work here with a short field. 7:12 left to go here in the first half. The Cougars on top, 7-0. This time they'll split Slayton out to the far side. High backs once again. A handoff to Gray. Gray's got a hole. He's still on his feet. He's across the 35 and down to about the 32-yard line. Gain of about 18. We'll check the spot of the ball and see where they give it to him. Give him 17 yards on that play. So 45 yards on the night for Matt Gray, and another Cougar first down. Now they'll split Olson to the near side, Slayton to the far side. Nowakowski under center. And the handoff, I should say, taken by Pedro Salazar. And Salazar, with forward progress, is going to pick up about 5-6 yards. As Pedro Salazar getting a nice opportunity, and he did get forward progress, and then that could have been ruled that he went back on his own power as he had the feet going, but we'll give him a 5-yard pickup nonetheless. 2nd down and 5 now. In motion goes Olson. Nowakowski with the handoff to Parcell, and everybody getting into the act a little bit tonight. Parcell is going to pick up 4, maybe 5. He's going to be close to that first yardstick, but looks like about a 4-yard pickup for Parcell, and 3rd and a long one now for the Cougars. Phil Todd will bring the play in for Centennial. They'll split Todd out to the far side, Olson to the near side now as Slayton comes off. High backs once again for the Cougars. On 3rd and 1, the handoff to Parcell. He's got the first down and then some as he's inside the 20. Gain of about 4 yards on the play for Nate Parcell, and another Cougar first down. Here you see it right across the front line. Parcell once again picking up some great blocks, keeps the legs turning, and works his way through the grip of the linebacker Paul Menard. So 1st and 10. Ball inside the 20. And Nowakowski will keep it himself. He's got some room to run if he chooses to. He does. Cross the 10. Touchdown. A 19-yard run for Nowakowski. And it's a 13-0 game. So Kyle Nowakowski faked the handoff. And he had all kinds of room on the near side, and that was a design play, folks, as he froze the defense with the threat of throwing the pass and was able to turn on the Jets and put it in the end zone with 4:48 left to go here in the first half. And Vanslow's extra point is up and no good. He shanked that one and fired it a little bit to the right. So the score will stand at 13-7. That drive for the Cougars, only 4 plays. There's the big play by Matt Gray, and then the, 5 plays on that one is the 19-yard run by Carl Nowakowski. Didn't get that one in the book until just now, so 13-0 with 4:48 left to go here in the first half, and everything going the way of the home team so far. Central's been able to pick up some pretty decent yardage rushing, but unable to sustain a drive as they have fumbled the ball away once, as well as the Cougars. And here's the pitch back to Perryman. Perryman still on his feet and finally swarmed under by the Cougars, and the Minutemen will take over 1st and 10 at about the 37-yard line. And there you see the pitch back to Perryman. He dodges a couple of tacklers and finally swarmed under there. So the ball at the 27, that's where the Minutemen will take over. They will split John Berry to the near side. Perryman split to the far side. Fake the pitch and hand it off on the left side, and there taking the ball was Brian McIntosh, number 36, and a flag flies high. So we'll check the call as McIntosh gets his first carry of the night. And it will be a personal foul against the Cougars. So we'll check the spot of the ball. As there you see McIntosh. Not sure if there was a late hit or what transpired after the play. It'll be a 15-yard penalty after the 3-yard gain by McIntosh. And the Cougars penalized for the second time tonight. They've been penalized for 25 yards now. And 1st and 10 as Cobbins out to midfield. He'll be wrapped up on the far side as Mark Reynolds makes the stop. It'll be a 5-yard pickup for Cobbins. So 2nd down and 5. The ball, nose of the ball right on the 50-yard line. They'll split Perryman to the far side, Berry to the near side. I-backs once again for Central. Or I believe changed the play at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the blitz. He's got plenty of time though as they pick it up and swing it out to Berry as he'll pick up about 9 yards before he's forced out of bounds by Hansen and Tom McConnell. So a 9-yard pickup and a 1st down as there you see Berry going up after it. He's got some nice soft hands, especially for the cold weather that we're experiencing. So 1st and 10 at about the 42-yard line. Here's the handoff to the near side to Shabazz. He's got a lot of room on the right side down near the 30. And Shabazz will pick up about 8 on that one. So Shabazz now with 34 yards on the night. Down under 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. They'll split Perryman out to the far side. The handoff to Cobbins. And he's going to be close to a first down. And it looks like he might have enough. They may have to measure. Nope, they will give it to him. So pickup of a couple of yards and a Central first down. Cobbins well on his way to a 100-yard night as he has 49 on the evening as we near the end of the first half. Ball just shy of the 31-yard line where it will be 1st and 10. Minutemen come to the line with Barry split to the far side. It'll be Perryman in the slot. McIntosh in the backfield. The handoff goes to Shabazz, and he'll be wrapped up. Nice stop on the play as Jared Massey comes up and makes the hit along with Matt Radanke. And Shabazz gets about a 1-yard pickup on that one. 2nd down and 9 is get another look at it here. And he just met a brick wall as Jared Massey came up and put the big hit on and stopped him cold in his tracks. So 2nd down and 9 now. Ball at about the 30-yard line. Back to pass is Boer off the hands of the intended receiver Perryman. He had an opportunity there as he'd worked his way free from the traffic, but the pass a little bit high, a little bit wide, and Perryman able to get a handoff but not able to bring it in. So the first incompletion of the night for Joe Boer. And a 3rd down and 9 situation. Going off are McIntosh and Devontae Duncans. And they're going to split out Nick Barghini and Marquise Thompson to the far side. 2 men split to the near side. Look for him to swing it to the near side as he lays it out and over the middle. Nice job by Phil Todd to break that one up as it was nearly in the hands of Perryman. But Todd able to save the touchdown for the Cougars. Let's take another look. A lot of time to throw, and Boer just lays it out there. And Todd able to come over and swat that one away. If Perryman would have hung on to that one, there was nothing between him and the end zone but a bunch of green. So 4th down, they're going to go for it. Once again, they'll put 4 wideouts in the pattern, split to the near side of Perryman and Barry. It'll be Barghini and Thompson once again to the far side. Back is Boer. He'll take this one to the far side, throw it up. And Phil Todd makes the catch in the end zone. Interception by Phil Todd. So the Cougars will take it over at the 20-yard line as Phil Todd went up. And kind of a poor choice by Boer. He kind of forced that one in as Todd was back deep, and I believe that was Kriegler. We'll get another look at it. Back also on defense as they were running stride for stride with the receivers. And there you can see, well covered, and Todd just went up over the top of Marquise Thompson. Thompson, as I mentioned earlier, only 5'7", and unable to get up there and go after it. And it looks like actually it was Jared Massey also back defensively for the Cougars. So Massey having a great game tonight so far for the Cougars. And I believe that's Massey. Yep, the ball carrier will be stopped after about a 2-yard pickup. Massey offensively at 62 yards on the ground, including that 20-yard touchdown run earlier here in the second quarter. 2nd down and 8 now from the 22. Nowakowski back looking downfield. He's got Olsen, and he makes the catch. And that will be a gain of about 23 yards on that play.
Brought down to the play by Matthew Danielson.
So another Nice play by the Cougars as Nowakowski is able to find his man Olsen on the far side. And there you see him go up after it. Here's Nowakowski again. This time the pass tipped at the line, or he was hit as he let it go. Coming in defensively was Cornelius Tolbert there to force the incompletion. So 3 of 5 on the night for Nowakowski for 53 yards. And a 2nd down and 10 situation. There's what you need to be wearing tonight. That's probably the warmest person out here tonight in the Cougar suit. Handoff up the middle. I believe that's Gray. It is. And they'll pick up a 1st down and then some. Check that was Massey, and he'll pick up 23 yards on the play, 24. And another great run by Jared Massey, as he now has 86 yards on the night. I'll go with the hurry up now with 57 seconds left to go. Ball tipped and intercepted. It's taken there by Shabazz. He's got some room, and he'll finally be brought down at about the 35-yard line. So Shabazz gives the Cougars a taste of their own medicine with the interception, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at the Cougar 35-yard line. Raheem Shabazz with a great night tonight. That wasn't Raheem that you saw there. Raheem's number 22. So Centennial, Central with an opportunity here with 48 seconds left to go on the 35. They'll fake the pass and hand it off to Perryman on the end around. He's still on his feet, and he'll pick up, after all that, maybe about 5 yards on the play. We'll check the spot of the ball. And they're making the stop was Matt Radanke, but it'll be about a 4-yard pickup after all that. And the Minutemen will take a break as they will stop the clock here with 37 seconds. They have one more timeout after this one. This is their 2nd. And they will talk things over. They, keep in mind, burned one earlier here in the 2nd quarter when the Cougars were on the move, and they needed to regroup defensively. 13-0 Cougars on top, and there you see the huddled masses trying to keep themselves warm here tonight. There you see some of the fans enjoying themselves tonight. There's the dress of the hour, I should say. All right, here we go. 2nd down and 6. They'll split Barry out to the near side. 4 wideouts in the pattern once again. Here's Boer looking deep to the corner. He's got a man, and in and out of the hands of Adrian Perryman.
Boer's pass intended for Adrian Perryman.
And Perryman was open. Ball thrown a little bit behind him, but that was a very catchable play as we'll take another look. Clock stopped with 30 seconds. And there you see Boer, lots of time, lays it out there. And Perryman just had to reach up and catch the ball and just couldn't hang on to it. So a 3rd down and 6 now. And we'll see if the Cougars can dodge the bullet here with 30 seconds left to play here in the 1st half, up by 13 points. High backfield. Once again, Boer back to pass. He'll swing it out to Cobbins. Cobbins slips, but his knee doesn't touch. And Kyle Massey will bring him down after Jared Massey set him up with the hit. He made it back to the line of scrimmage, but part of a Massey sandwich there as Kyle and Jared put the hurt on, and they will call their last time out on 4th down. No gain on the play for Cobbins. And here you get another look as they swing it out. to Cobbins. And both Jared and Kyle meet at Cobbins at the same time and put the punishment on Val Cobbins. So 4th down and 6 when we resume play. 18 seconds left on the clock. Too distant for a field goal, so Guarantee Central is going to probably put 4 wideouts in the pattern and go for the end zone. And even though they're primarily a running team, this is definitely a passing situation. So, but you never know. It's also the kind of play that you may see a draw on. Okay, they will split Thompson and Barghini to the near side. And it will be Berry and Perryman to the far side. Back to pass is Boer. Looking down corner. And there for the touchdown is Perryman. And that will be about a 20, about a...
Adrian Perryman for the touchdown.
Okay, he was actually down at the 2, so Perryman knee touches at the 2-yard line. Gain of about 24 on that play. And they will try the field goal, as on to attempt it is Tolati. It's up, and it's good. And actually was a touchdown. So, yep, they will say he did score the touchdown. So it is 13-7. As we had a little confusion, tough angle to see up here if he had actually crossed the goal line or not, but it was ruled that he did. So the extra point is good, and it's 13-7 as there are 11 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Let's see if we can get another look at it here. And he falls into the end zone, and the 31-yard touchdown pass to Perryman makes it a 6-point game. 4 plays on the drive, and they go 35 yards after the interception by Shabazz. Sets up the touchdown. 10 seconds on the clock as the Cougars will take over. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. See if the Cougars just take a knee and take this one into the half, and they will. And that will end the first half of play with the score. The Cougars 13 and the Minutemen 7. And we will take a timeout and be back right after this.
He's the raffle winner. Pick up the from Nancy representative. The raffle winner tonight are Sue Todd and Brandon Von Wall. Todd and Brandon Von Wall, the two winners, and they played their feet from Nancy Capital down by the player gate entry area.
I mean, it's a good first half for the Cougars. Normally they're trailing. Sometimes they're trailing at halftime and they have to battle back for the second half. This time they do have a 6-point lead. They kind of gave up that last touchdown at the end. Let's see if they can play with the lead, and they're going to have to cut down the turnovers. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night for the Cougars. So hopefully stop the turnovers, and it'll be a completely different game. Cougars able to run the ball with Gray and Massey and come up with the victory, and we'll see them at White Bear Lake. So back up to you, Dave.
Thanks, Kenton, and let's take a look at those numbers. Yeah, actually, turnovers even, a fumble and an interception on each side. The Cougars having a pretty nice night rushing the ball. They've got 23 attempts, 170 yards on the night, led by Jared Massey with 6 runs for 86 yards, including a 20-yard touchdown run. They do have the 1 fumble. Carl Nowakowski, not a bad night, 3 of 6 passing for 53 yards, and he has the 1 interception as well. Total yardage for the Cougars in the first half, 223. They were penalized twice for 25 yards, 198 net yards. They picked up 7 first downs in the first half. For the Central Minutemen, 20 rushing attempts for 92 yards. They were, of course, led by their top rusher, Vel Cobbins, but Raheem Shabazz not too far behind. Cobbins had 8 rushes for 49 yards. Shabazz 8 rushes for 35 yards on the night. They did have 1 fumble as well. That came on a kickoff. Passing-wise, Joe Bohr, not too bad. 3 of 7 on the night for 49 yards and an interception. Total yardage for Central, 134 yards on the evening. No penalties in the first half. They played a nice, clean first half, and they were able to pick up 8 first downs, so things pretty even. A couple of big plays for the Cougars were able to put them on top. Of course, they scored first on the 20-yard touchdown run by Jared Massey. The extra point attempt by Vanslow was missed, or excuse me, it was good on the first one that gave Centennial a 7-0 lead with 9:30 left to go. That completed a 9-play, 88-yard drive. Nowakowski scored the second score of the night on a 19-yard run on a little bootleg to the left. He was able to find himself some room along the left side and break through the defensive backfield of the Minutemen and put it in the end zone. That completed a 4-play, 50-yard drive, and that happened at 4:42 of the second quarter. It looked like the Cougars were in the driver's seat. On their next possession, though, Shabazz with the interception, and that set up Central in great field position. They got the ball on the Cougar 20 or 35-yard line, and were able to complete a 31-yard touchdown pass from Bohr to Adrian Perryman. That completed a 4-play, 35-yard drive, and with 11 seconds left in the first half, we're able to make this a 13-7 game after the extra point up and good by Rosebay Tolati. So for Tolati, that was his 16th extra point in 21 tries on the season, and that, as we mentioned, made the halftime score 13-7. As Kenton mentioned just a few moments ago, the winners of this team hoping to make the trip to White Bear Lake. White Bear Lake playing St. Paul Arlington tonight. St. Paul Arlington 1-7 on the season, and White Bear Lake 6-2. Wound up in a tie with Mounds View for first place in the Suburban East. So they have a pretty good chance of winning that game. It's at White Bear Lake tonight, so it would take a major upset for Arlington to move on. So the winner of this game will travel most likely to White Bear Lake, although if Arlington can pull off the upset, the next round of the playoffs could possibly be here, and we'll keep you posted. Of course, keep your channels tuned here to Channel 15, and we'll let you know what's going on Locker Room Live coming up on Thursday night. Well, I'm just about set to go for the second half kickoff. The Minutemen will be taking the ball back as they start the second half here, and see if they can continue their momentum as they picked up a little momentum on that interception and big play to Adrian Perryman to make this a one-score game. Bear with me as I take a little sip of hot chocolate. It is just flat out chilly out here tonight, folks. This is December type of weather. And then I don't know if we can get a look at number 89 in the second line of the kickoff return team, but that for St. Paul Central, that's Colin Bell out there in shirt sleeves. He's got to be a very chilly young man out there tonight. Low line drive kick once again. It'll be taken by Cobbins. He's out across the 30. Or check that, that's Adrian Perryman out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line, and that's where Central will take over, 1st and 10. So nice return for Perryman, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 28 as they come to the line. Split to the near side will be Perryman. High backfield is now seeing a lot of time at fullback is Brian McIntosh. He had 1 carry in the first half, and Cobbins will start the second half as he started the first half for the Central Minutemen. He'll pick up about 5 yards.
5 yards in on the play, brings up 2nd and 5.
And make it a 2nd down and 5. Although his first run of the game, he picked up 11 yards, so the Cougars able to slow him down here a little bit, start the second half. He had 49 yards rushing in the first half. Now they'll split John Berry to the near side at 2nd down and 5. McIntosh in the backfield. The handoff to Cobbins once again. And Cobbins barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. May have even lost a yard on the play. Jared Massey there on the stop, along with Andy Couric coming over to help out. No gain on the play.
No gain on the play, and it's 3rd and 5.
And 3rd down and 5 now. And we have an official's timeout, as it looks like we have an equipment problem. And I think they're trying to bang the mud out of the helmet of the center. That's Felipe Patterson. As they finally get things cleaned up, get his hat back on, and now we're set to go 3rd down and 5. As it is a mucky situation out there in the center of this football field. 2 men split to the near side will be Berry and Perryman. On 3rd down and 5. Back to pass is Boer. Looks to the near side and through the hands of Berry, incomplete.
Intended for Jonathan Berry is incomplete.
So 3 of 8 now on the night for John Boer. And Boer not a huge passing threat. He had a little over 500 yards passing on the season, or 582 actually. So 4th down, and they will be forced to punt it away as Perryman will be back to punt. Cougars will send 2 men back deep. Phil Todd on the near side. Looks like Ryan Olson on the far side. Low snap, nearly blocked, and it will be Todd taking it at about the 40. He's out to midfield, and he'll be brought down at about the 45-yard line of the Minutemen. Nice stop there on the play by the aforementioned Colin Bell. And great field position for the Cougars to start their first drive of the second half, as they will have it at the 45-yard line of Central. Always helps to be playing on a short field when you go out there on offense. They will split Slayton out to the far side. It'll be Olson to the near side. Looks like Parcell and Gray in the backfield for the Cougars. The handoff to Parcell. He lost the football. It's still loose. And Central says they have it, and they do. So Nate Parcell, I'm not sure that he ever got the handoff. And so it will be 1st and 10 for Central near midfield. They'll have it at the 47-yard line after the fumble. They'll split Perryman out to the far side, I backfield. Once again, looks like McIntosh and Cobbins back to passes. Bower looking downfield, and Perryman can't hang on to the football. Mark Reynolds there on defense as Perryman once again had a step on his defender, but couldn't hang on to the football, and I'm sure it's just a case of cold hands out there for Adrian Perryman. So 2nd down and 10 as they go for it all on one play here. And the ball falls incomplete after it goes off the hands of Perryman. This time they'll split Barry as the wideout, Perryman in the slot. They'll hand it off to Cobbins. He's got some room, and he'll be wrapped up by Andy Keurig after about a 5-yard pickup. So 3rd down and 5 now as the ball across midfield to the 48 of the Cougars. Centennial on top by a touchdown, actually by 6. And the Minutemen trying to even up the score here or take the lead. They will split Nick Barghini to the far side. And there's a swing pass. Barghini tried to stop and go back after it. His legs go out from underneath him, and on this very slippery track, from the angle that you're looking at it right now, folks, it's very difficult to see how rough this field is. It is just flat out slick out there, as the center part of the field is mostly mud. And on 4th down, they'll be forced to punt it away. So the Cougars will dodge the bullet here. They'll get it back in much worse field position than they had it, but at least they will come out of this without being scored on. So Perryman back to punt it away. Olson and Todd. High snap this time. And Keurig in there trying to attempt the block. Olson has a hard time hanging on to it. He'll be wise to cover it up, and he does. And the Cougars will take over at about the 20-yard line. So rough going here as we start the second half. And actually it'll be about the 19 where the Cougars take over. So they'll lose nearly 30 yards on the change of possession, I should say. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 19. They'll split Olson out to the near side. And Slayton out to the far side. High backfield. Hand off to Todd, I believe. We'll get a look. Nope, that is Gray. Okay. And Gray will pick up about 15 yards on the play. There you see Gray pop through the hole and pick up the 1st down and then some. As Cougars get their first down here the second half. And here's Jared Massey. He'll pick up 11 yards and another Cougar 1st down. Perryman there to make the stop. And we'll get a look. First man through is Massey. He's got a nice big hole. Front line doing a great job. Perez, Richter, Dahl, Sela, and Dieterman across the front. And here's Gray, and he'll dive forward near the 40. Give him a 13-yard pickup And another Cougar first down as the Cougars starting to rip off some big yardage on some running plays and eat up the clock at the same time. 8:17 left to go here in the third quarter. And it will be 1st and 10 at the 41 of Central. Olsen will split out to the far side. They'll line up in the I backfield once again. Nowakowski hands off to Gray. He pops off the line, and he'll pick up another 10 yards, and he'll be close to another first down. So actually we'll call it a 9-yard gain as they get another look, and there you see Gray. Well, nice big hole for him to run through, and he'll sidestep the would-be tacklers and pick up another 9 yards. So 2nd down and short, more or less a free play for the Cougars. Let's see if they choose to throw the football or if they stay conservative and keep it on the ground. Fumble on the snap, and they will stay conservative and keep it on the ground as Nowakowski has a hard time with it. Gray will cover up and lose about 4 yards on the play. Nowakowski, I don't think ever got the snap. Nope, and I believe Mark Dahl just slipped as he went to hike that football, and Nowakowski never had a chance. The ball was about a foot below his hands and never saw it coming. Here's Nowakowski under pressure and nearly picking off the pass was Cornelius Tolbert. Nowakowski's going to lose. Now we'll see where they spot it. Or actually it will be an incompletion, I guess, so it'll bring up a 4th down.
Camera 3, right?
So Nowakowski with his first pass attempt of the second half. And the Cougars will be forced to punt it away as the officials will talk things over. I think that Central may have wanted an intentional grounding call. But none coming. As you can see, Scott Howell directing his troops from the far sideline. And on to punt it away will be Guy Lucia. Fake the punt. Here's Massey. First down for the Cougars, still on his feet. And he'll be down to about the 25-yard line. A gain of about 11 yards on the play for Jared Massey, and a Cougar first down on the fake punt. So, little razzle-dazzle by the Cougars here as they move the ball, and they have it inside the 25-yard line. And pick up another first down. 4th first down on this drive as the Cougars methodically moving the ball down the field. Running clock at the same time. 6.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Nowakowski with the handoff to Gray. Gray pulls his way forward. He'll be down near the 20, still pushing forward. Still no whistle. And finally, Gray brought down at the 20-yard line. That's going to be about a 4-yard pickup for Matt Gray. And he was just moving the pile. Stopped by the entire Central defense. Let's listen in. There you can hear some very cold plastic clacking together as the helmets collide. So 2nd down and 6 to go. The handoff to Gray. He's got a hole, and he's down inside the 10 to about the 6. 15-yard pickup for Matt Gray. And another Cougar first down as they'll have it 1st and goal now. And the front line for the Cougars just ripping big holes for the running backs. As you see Gray go through the line untouched until he's brought down by Maurice Thompson in the defensive backfield. That's the free safety making the tackle 15 yards up the field. So 1st and goal now for the Cougars. Ball at about the 6. And this time Gray's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage as popping through is Chris Gustafson. And we'll have a loss of about 2 on the play. And there you see, I'm not sure who's at the bottom of that stack, but he created the play for Central. Gustafson was on top as the play came to a close, but nice stop. I believe that may have been Devin Jones. And here's Massey. And he'll be brought down at about the 5-yard line, so pickup of about 3 on the play for Massey. So 3rd and goal now at the 5. And here you'll see Massey come through, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down hard as they're on the stop. Big number 70, Noah Gagner. Now this time they'll split Slayton out to the far, or to the near side, I should say. High backs once again for the Cougars. Here's Nowakowski. He's going to swing it out for Massey. He falls down, and I believe he made the catch. He did. And they will spot it at about the 2. So about a 3-yard pickup on that pass. So a 3-yard gain on the pass to Massey. That's the first completion of the second half for Nowakowski. 4th down. The Cougars are going to go for it as they have it 4th and goal from the 2. It'll be Parcell and Gray in the backfield. And touchdown. I'm not sure who had the ball there. As you see who comes up out of the bottom of the pile. And Matt Gray with the touchdown run. And there you see as he pops through and in for the score. So Jason Vanslow will be on. And they fake it, go for 2, and the 2-point conversion to Massey is good. And that pushes the lead out to 21-7. The drive goes 81 yards. "13 plays, so it was a nice long sustained drive for the Cougars. And they put another 8 on the board, I should say. I was about to say 7, but 8 the appropriate number as they push it out to a 21-7 lead and go back up by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. And let's take another look at that touchdown run. As you saw Matt Gray get a nice good running start. Front line opened up a big hole for him, and he's in for the score. And he's actually stopped about 3 yards deep in the end zone. Here's Phil Todd. Taken by Perryman. He's across the 30 to the 35, across the 40, or excuse me, across the 20 to the 25 and across the 30. And Olsen will bring him down, and they will have 1st and 10 at the 33. Excuse my lack of field position. The angle we're standing at is tough to see the yard markers, and for whatever reason, that 20 looks like a 30 to me, has all night. All right. Here's Bauer off the fake. He's got a man wide open. It's Barry, and he can't hang on to the football. Well, you can't fault Joe Bauer tonight. He's done a nice job getting the ball to his receivers all night long, but they're just having a tough time hanging on to the football. And this one, Barry's been going up and bringing him down all night long, but this time There you saw the great fake to hold the defense, and he's wide open, goes up right in his hands and bounces it off the knee as he's bringing it down and can hang on. 2nd down and 10 now from the 33-yard line. 2 men split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Here comes the blitz. They hold him off, and this time the ball under pressure thrown behind Nick Barghini. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 now as the Minutemen down by 2 scores here late in the 3rd quarter, starting to go to the air here a little bit more. 2:37 left to go. And we'll get another look as this time they bring the blitz and put a little pressure on Bauer. And he throws it well behind Barghini. So 3rd down and 10. Barghini will split to the far side. It will be Perryman and Barry split to the near side. Lone setback is McIntosh. He's just back there to block. He'll swing it out to the very diminutive Marquise Thompson, and he will have enough for a 1st down as he's out to the 44. That'll be an 11-yard reception for Thompson. And that'll be the first down of the 2nd half for Central. And there you see once again time for Bauer, and he swings it out to Thompson. Thompson makes sure he gathers it in before he turns it upfield, and then Bobby Hansen will chase him out of bounds. So just enough for a 1st down as they get out to the 44. And then we'll have a penalty on the Cougars that will tack on an extra 15 yards. So 2 personal foul penalties against the Cougars tonight. They've got to watch that here as they've been penalized now 3 times for 40 yards. Central yet to pick up a penalty tonight. So 1st and 10 now in Centennial territory. Ball at the 40-yard line. And handoff to Cobbins, still on his feet. And he may have picked up about 5 on that play. He started deep in the backfield and was hit several times as he crossed the line of scrimmage, and give him a 5-yard pickup on that one. Cobbins now 4 carries for only 15 yards here in the 2nd half after picking up nearly 50 yards in the 1st half. So 2nd down, and let's give him a pickup of 6 on that one. 2nd down and 4. Handoff up the middle, and Shabazz is hit by several Cougars before he's finally brought down. Bernanke there on the stop. Justin Glander also coming over on the hit. No gain on the play for Shabazz. And 3rd down and about 4 to go now for the Minutemen. They'll swing or bring Barry to the near side, Perryman to the far side. Pitch comes to the near side. Cobbins hit. It's going to be close as he's down near the 31-yard line. Nope. Check it. They'll spot it at the 32. He'll be well shy. So a 3-yard pickup for Cobbins. And 4th down and 1. Big play time now for Central. They're definitely going to go for it here as the clock winding down in the 3rd quarter. 40 seconds left to go. Central down by 2. They'll swing 2 men out to the far side, Perryman and Barry. Cougars show blitz. Handoff to Shabazz, and he'll be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. No gain as Jared Massey comes over with a big hit. And the Cougars will take over on downs, as it looks like Shabazz might be hurt. And there you see just nothing but big red and white 22 there as Perryman, or excuse me, as Shabazz got the ball. It looks like he's still down, may have twisted an ankle a little bit as his cleats may have caught in the mud down there as he was spun around by Massey. Let's slow this one down and see if we can see where the injury came in. Here you see the blitz. as they send everybody. And it looks like he may have got his legs tangled up with Massey as he went down. And he is up and coming off under his own power. So Jared Massey doing a great job and stopping the drive with 26 seconds left to go. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. And the handoff to Gray. Gray's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but he'll push his way forward for a gain of about 6 yards. Matt Gray just using those big, strong legs, bowls his way forward for a nice little gain. And after the spot of the ball, that's about a 7-yard pickup for Gray. So over 100 yards now for Gray in the game. He's by my stats at 112 as we come to the close of the third quarter of play. It's the Cougars 21 and the St. Paul Central Minutemen 7 as we head to the fourth quarter with the Cougars in the driver's seat. They have the ball in pretty decent field position, and they're just going to look to run the ball, run some clock, and play keep away from the Minutemen. As you got to give the Cougars a lot of credit. They've pretty much shut down Central's big running back, Vel Cobbins, in the second half. He's had 5 carries for only 19 yards. It's an average of just under 4 yards a carry, and when you consider coming into this game, Cobbins averaged, trying to get a look at the numbers here, over 10 yards a carry. And yeah, 10.5 yards a carry and 117 yards a game for an average for Cobbins. And right now he's been held down to about 68 yards, and only 19 of those coming here in the second half. So we'll see if they can hold him down the rest of the way out on the 2nd down and 3. Handoff up the middle, and they may have to look at throwing the ball down the field here a little bit to loosen up the Central defense, because they're starting to creep the linebackers forward a little bit, and gain of about a yard on the play. Salazar there, the ball carrier. That's only his 2nd carry of the night. Picks up about a yard. So 3rd down and 2 now, as Salazar and Massey will come off, and Parcell and Gray will be the backs now for the Cougars on 3rd down and 2. See if they run something to the outside here to try to spread the defense out. They do it on the pitch to Gray, and he's going to be wrapped up deep in the backfield by Devontae Duncans, and he'll lose about 3 yards on the play and bring up a 4th down and 5. So Duncans up to the task as he breaks through. And you had to look for the Cougars to try to spread things out a little bit, as their last 2 or 3 runs up the middle were just stuffed, as Central starting to show a little strength up the middle here. And on 4th down, they will punt it away. This time they go with the punt, nearly blocked. And Thompson, I should say, was back deep, but he's nowhere near the ball. And the Cougars will down it at about the 37-yard line. And that's where Central will take over 1st and 10. .10:28 left to go in this ball game. Cougars hanging on to a 2-touchdown lead. And I won't say they've dominated play for the most part, but they've had pretty good control of this game right from the get-go. The interception, the late interception and the long touchdown pass, the only big offensive plays for Central so far tonight. Here's the pitch to Cobbins. He's got some room on the right side. Hole closes quickly as Hansen comes over, along with a little bit of help from Radanke, and they close it up quickly. About a 2-yard pickup. So 2nd down and 8 now as the ball placed just shy of the 40-yard line. Now they'll have 2 men out to the near side, 1 to the far side. Back to pass is Bauer. Ball tipped, and Barry almost went up and got it, but a little bit too tall after the tip. And let's go down to the field to Kenton Kipp.
Home, it is really cold down here, and players just trying to keep warm. We've had a couple turnovers for the Cougars that have 2 interceptions and a couple fumbles, and they're going to need to hang on to the ball. They've been doing a good job throwing the ball, and playing some hold out for the last 9.5 minutes and not turn the ball over, and I think they'll be okay. Back up to you, Dave.
Thanks, Kenton. And yeah, that is definitely got to be in the game plan of the Cougars, is keep it conservative, keep the ball on the ground, run as much clock as you can. But first they got to get it back from the Central Minutemen. 3rd down and 8. Bauer under pressure. He's hit, and he will be down. He does make it back to the line of scrimmage, may have even gained a yard on the play.
I think they're shaping him up, so if you want to show something here, go.
But not the result they were looking for as Radanke comes up with the big stop. And Bauer with his only run of the game, and he didn't look comfortable doing that. So 4th down now and 7 to go after the 1-yard pickup. Ball at the 40-yard line. And they're going to go for it. So let's see if the Cougars can come up with the big stop here as Central pulling out all the stops. Back to pass is Bauer looking downfield. He's got Barry and enough for a 1st down as John Barry makes the catch across midfield. And that will be a gain of about 19 yards. Let's check the spot. And let's make it a 18-yard gain as they finally get the ball down. And a 1st down for Central. That's their 2nd 1st down here of the half as John Barry comes up with his first catch. An 18-yard pickup. And a huge play for Central as they keep possession of the ball. They had 4th and 7. And they pick up the 1st down. Here comes the Cougars on the blitz. They hold them off. Ball thrown deep, and 2 men for Centennial. Mark Reynolds with the interception as he'll have the ball at the 5-yard line for the Cougars. And we'll take another look on the interception as Phil Todd there as well, and Reynolds comes up with the ball, and Cougars will have it at their own 5-yard line. Well, I talked with Mark Reynolds' dad for a couple minutes down on the sidelines before the game, and he was hoping after Reynolds had come off a little bit of an injury to his shoulder a couple of games ago, just before the Totino Grace game, and he was hoping for a big game because he's here videotaping his son, and trying to get some pictures. So nice to see Mark Reynolds come up with that big play. Hopefully Dad got that on film, and let's go downstairs to Kenton Kipp.
Well, Cougars, Dave, they've been doing a great job all year long, coming up with the big stops when they needed big turnovers. Mark Reynolds, a huge interception right there. Matt Gray, he saw with the camera shot, does have a banged up elbow. They're probably going to be using Maskey a little bit more. Maskey's coming off the field right now, but another huge defensive play, and Cougars just have under 8 minutes to play. Hopefully they can.
All right, thanks, Kenton. And the handoff this time looks like it's Gray. And looks like he may have made it back to the line of scrimmage. And I'll bring up a 3rd down now, and about 6 yards to go. Let's give him a 1-yard pickup on that. So about a 3rd down and 6 to go. High backfield once again for the Cougars. And this time it's Phil Todd, and he'll be hit hard as he comes to the line of scrimmage. And Todd may have picked up a yard on the play. Well, no gain really. And 4th down and 5 now. Ball just about across the 10-yard line. So on to punt the ball away will be Guy Lucia. From his own end zone. Ball tipped as it comes out. And I'm not sure that Nick LeClaire realized that, he didn't have to catch that ball. It just kind of popped up into his hands. But it'll be downed, and St. Paul Central is going to have the ball in great field position after the short punt. It looked like Central was able to get a hand on it, and they will take over at the 18-yard line. So a golden opportunity here for Central to get back into this one. They're only down by 2 touchdowns, 6.5 minutes left to play. And we'll see if they can take advantage of it. Oh, Cobbins just hit hard and driven back by Jared Massey. Massey with a massive hit, and he'll lose about 2 yards on the play. Let's take another look at this one. Here you see Massey with a big hit, and Cobbins going to be feeling that one for a couple of days as he'll lose 2 yards on the play. And if Jared Massey has anything to do with it, the Central Minutemen are going nowhere on this drive. Second down now and 12. Perryman and Berry split to the far side. Thompson split to the near side. Lone setback will be Brian McIntosh. Here's Bauer looking downfield. Post pattern picked off. Stay in the end zone. Nope. Todd will bring it back out. He's got some room to run, and he's still on his feet. Looks like he could take this one out near midfield, and he'll return it all the way out to the 46-yard line. And that's where the Cougars will take over. And let's go back down to Kenton once again.
Well, here, Dave, we're seeing a little bit of deja vu every time Central gets near the red zone. Centennial's come up with a big turnover, 2 interceptions in a row. Again, Centennial's going to need some first downs, though. They can't rely on their defense all night long. Central still only 14 points away. Centennial will need to run some clock out here. Back up to you, Dave.
Kenton, and yeah, I guess Phil Todd thought better of listening to me. I told him to stay in the end zone, and he runs that one back about 50 yards out to the 46. Here's Matt Gray. Flag goes down. We're probably going to bring this one back for holding as Matt Gray picks up about 10 yards on the play, but this one is coming back. It'll be about a 1-yard gain on the run if they spot of the foul is where the actual flag is, and we'll see if we can get a look at this hold as yeah, you see the tail end of the play there. But nonetheless, this one's coming back, and it will be a 1-yard gain for Gray, and then the 10-yard penalty. 4 penalties, 50 yards. Still not a flag thrown in this game on Central, but I don't think the Cougars really care that much as they have the ball at first down and about 19 to go with just over 5 minutes left to play in this one. They'll split Slayton out to the near side. And once again, Gray, he'll gain it all back as he will pick up about 16 yards on the play. He'll be stopped just shy of the first down. And actually, let's give him 17 on that run as he finds a big hole, then spins his way through the defense. So in the second half for Gray, he has 78 yards to go along with 45 in the first half. 123 yards on the night unofficially for Matt Gray. Here's the handoff to Gray. He's got another big opening, and he'll be able to pick up the first down and then some as he gains nearly 10 yards on the play. Give him 9. And another first down for the Cougars. 13 first downs in the game, 10 for Central, but only 2 of those for Central coming here in the second half. Clock clicks down, near 4 minutes to play. Nowakowski back to pass, looking for Ryan Olson, and he's down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And that will be a gain of 33 yards on the play. And there you see Olson bringing the ball down near the 5, actually give him the 6, so it's only a 32-yard pickup. That only the second reception in the game, but Olson has 55 yards receiving so far in the night. First and goal at the 6. 3:37 as the clock continues to run. Here's Nate Parcell. He'll be down inside the 5 and actually pushes his way forward, and we have a loose ball, and Central will maintain possession. Let's go down to Kenton Kipp.
Well, Dave, Centennial doing a great job of moving the ball now. And a lot of that has to do with Matt Gray. I talked to him before the game. He said he was between 90 and 100% health with his ankle. Matt Gray had his ankle taped. It was the first game that he didn't have his entire shoe taped. So other than the elbow, which was affecting his running, Matt Gray was Centennial able to move the ball and have a lot of weapons. And if they score one more time, that should do it.
Yes, indeed, Kenton, as Matt Gray in for the touchdown. It's a 3-yard touchdown run for Matt Gray. Second touchdown of the game for Matt Gray. This one on a 3-yard run. And that makes it a 27-7 game with 2:47 left to go here in the game, as the Cougars putting this one away and putting it out of the reach of the Central Minutemen. So the drive goes 54 yards as the extra point is up and good by Jason Vanselo. And it's a 28-7 ball game. This drive, 7 plays and capped by the 32-yard catch by Ryan Olson. Let's go back downstairs once again to Kenton Kipp.
Well, Dave, that's probably going to do it. Centennial able to put one more in, and they got 28-7 lead. It's 3 scores unless Central can come up with some big points. That'll probably do it, but give credit to Centennial. Just another great second half for them. Matt Gray able to run the ball, and just a great job. I'm going to go back into the truck right now. Maybe we'll get an interview after the game, but it's probably going to do it. Thank you, Dave.
Go get yourself warm, man, as he's been out there on the field for the second half on this very chilly night here at Centennial High School. But the crowd very warm inside as they're watching their Cougars getting ready to move on to the semifinals here of Section 4, 5A. On the kick, Perryman waits and waits and waits, finally picks it up. I'm not quite sure what he was waiting for there, but nonetheless, he will return it out to about the 16-yard line. And let's get another look as see the ball come down. And Cobbins will miss it. Perryman chases it back, but then kind of stands there, and I think he just wanted to get a good look at how the defense was set up and make sure that things were lined up. So they'll take over at the 17-yard line. 2:43 left to play. And there you see the celebration beginning by the Cougars as the handoff, I believe, was Cobbins. We'll get a look. May have picked up about a yard on the play. And Cobbins was the ball carrier. Cobbins, 8 carries, only 20 yards here in the second half as the Cougar defense has just stepped up and really shut him down tonight, especially in the second half. He had 49 yards in the first half, only 20 here in the second half. Clock clicking down near 2 minutes. And here's the pass caught. And I believe that was Perryman out there on the wing. It was. And that will be good enough to pick up the first down. 10-yard reception for Perryman. He now has 3 catches for 41 yards. And that's only the 3rd first down of the second half here for St. Paul Central. Back to passes Bauer. Looking to the near side to Barry, over his head. And another incompletion. 6 of 16 now on the night for Joe Boer. Not all of those his fault, though. Early in the second half, the Minutemen had several opportunities for big plays, but the receivers unable to hang on to the football, and they resulted in incompletions. Barghini will split to the near side along with Thompson. 2 men split to the far side. Perryman and Berry off the fake. The handoff went to Perryman on the end around, and he'll be shoved out of bounds. Late hit out of bounds is going to be the call, as he was pushed out at about the 30-yard line. He gained about 2 yards on the carry, and we're going to get a personal foul called as there you see Perryman dipping and dodging. And there you see the throwdown. I believe that was either Phil Todd, or I'm not sure who the other player was over there. Maybe if we can get another look, but it will set up a first down. After the penalty, 65 yards, 5 penalties on the Cougars tonight. And they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 45. So after the short gain, the penalty gives the Minutemen a first down. 1:38 left to go in this one. Looked like a man left early for St. Paul Central, as Perryman, I think, got a little bit of a jump, but the pass thrown incomplete nonetheless. How you doing, everybody? And even in the booth, I don't know if you can see me. I'm really bundled up here. It is chilly, but I don't envy the folks outside. I can tell you that much right now. 2nd down and 10 from the 45. .134 left to go. Here's Bauer back, looking down the near sideline. He's got Perryman in and out of his hands, and that's about the 4th pass that Perryman's had hit his hands tonight and pop out. And if I were the quarterback of this team, I'd be very frustrated right now, as he laid that one right in there where it needed to be. Over the shoulder catch, but off the hands, off the shoulder pads of Perryman. And there was 6 points right there for Perryman if he could have reeled that one in. So 1:28 left to go now. 3rd down and 10 from the 45. And if the Cougars can just keep it clean here the rest of the way out, they should have no problem shutting down the Central offense. 4 receivers out on the pattern now. Bauer over the middle, looking for Perryman. Great catch by Adrian Perryman as he brings it in at the 27-yard line. So a gain of 27 yards on the catch by Perryman. And here you see he'll reach out, couldn't grab it with 2 hands, but he'll pull this one in with 1 and make the catch as Central calls the timeout to stop the clock here with 1:21 left to go. And that was a pretty nice grab. And of course, right after I make the comment of Perryman dropping a few, he makes a sensational one-handed catch and reels it in to make the stop, pick up the first down. So that's the 13th first down now in the game. Most of the first downs of the second half coming on this drive for St. Paul Central. They have 1:21 to work with.
Yeah, I'm going over there.
Cougars will attempt to keep them off the board for just under a minute and a half. Well, they'll split Berry and Perryman to the far side. Thomas and Garbini. Here's the pass to Perryman. He's got some room on the sideline, and he's in for the touchdown. It'll be a 28-yard touchdown reception to Perryman. He has both touchdowns for Central tonight. And there you'll see Bauer swing it out to Perryman, and after he dodges the tackle. It's home free as he picks up the score here with 1:13 left to go in the fourth. The extra point is up, and it's good. And we've got a 28-14 game. So the drive goes 83 yards. Seven plays. And it's a two-touchdown game. .65 yards on 3 receptions, 96 yards catching or receiving, I should say, for Andrew Perryman tonight, Adrian Perryman. And with that catch, or that completion, I should say, Joe Boer has 143 yards passing on the night, so pretty nice night for him, but they've been in a position where they've had to throw the ball for most of the second half, so Centennial has done an outstanding job of shutting down the running game for Centennial, and that was their strength coming into this one, so they'll be more than happy to give up 143 yards. Here comes the onside kick. And the Cougars will fall on it, and as Mark Slayton there to cover up, and the Cougars will take over 1st and 10 at about their 47. There you see the onside kick, and Slayton with the sure hands gathers it in and covers up, and the Cougars will have it at their 47-yard line. I believe one timeout remaining, as the Cougars actually will burn a timeout now. They want to make sure of what they're going to do. I believe in the game at quarterback is going to be Guy Lucia. And so he's going to come over and talk things over with the coaching staff and make sure that the instructions are clear and that everybody's on the same page. This is not the place where you want to turn over the football. With 1:12 left to go and a 2-touchdown lead. So they'll talk things over and look for the Cougars to take a knee the rest of the way out. Our player of the game tonight, if things stand as it is, will be Matt Gray. 135 yards rushing on the night on 13 carries. A couple of touchdowns. And some clutch running when it was needed. Cougars run it up the middle, about a 3-yard pickup. Central feels that they picked up a turnover there. Players still on the ground. And finally getting up will be Matt Gray as he will add to his total as he picks up another 2. Bring up a 2nd down and 8 now. Clock continues to run. Looks like the Cougars will have to run one more play here. And now taking the knee is the quarterback Lucia, and that'll wrap things up as the clock runs down. 14 seconds, 10 seconds, and the Centennial Cougars will move on to the Section 5 semifinal to face either White Bear Lake or St. Paul Arlington after winning this game by a final score of 28-14. Matt Gray finishes up the night, as I mentioned, with 14 carries. He picks up 100. Yeah, let me double check my math here. 137 yards on the night for Matt Gray and 2 touchdowns. Carl Nowakowski finishes up the night, going 5 of 9 for 88 yards, and did a nice job. Also ran in a touchdown run as well for the Cougars. Also got to give a lot of credit to Jared Massey, 20-yard touchdown run to open up the scoring for the night, and he finishes up the night over 100 yards as well, as he did a great job on defense to go along with his offense, and finished up the night with 115 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown as well. So there you see the happy Cougars as they leave the field, and everybody's going to head in. Actually, they're going to have a little team meeting down in the end zone before they head into the nice warm locker room, but this place will clear out quickly as everybody heads home to get warmed up, and we will do the same. Thanks to my partner for the night, Kenton Kipp, down on the field, and the rest of the crew. And I'm Dave Washburn. Good night, everybody.
The Minnesota Media Archive is brought to you by North Metro TV. Your support helps make the archive possible. If you like this video, please consider a one-time donation.